Hey Masters, if you know me and you've been listening to my podcast, you know health and nutrition is number one. Check out AdvoCare products. I am a distributor. Go to livelongersmarter.com. We got everything you could imagine for your health and nutrition goals. If you're interested, at the end of the podcast, at the very end, there'll be more information on the products. Also, Land Voice is one of our sponsors. They have amazing services. If you need leads, please check out Land Voice for FSBO, expired, circle prospecting, a dialer, whatever you need. Go to davidihill.com. Affiliates, you can click the Land Voice link and all of the special opportunities will be there.
Get ready for one more sale, inspiring you with ideas through powerful and engaging interviews with top performers of their field. Now, join us as we discuss techniques and strategies of the coolest and most successful people on the planet.
People overestimate what they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can do in 5 years. Hey, we're all going to have challenges, right? Failure is okay, but you want to know the biggest challenge in your business, look in the mirror. You know, you're the biggest challenge. You need to get out of your own way.
What up, Masters? Welcome to another episode of Path to Mastery, where, you know, every week we bring you the best of the best. And there's no exception this week with Joe Zimmerman. Listen to this. Joe is one of the founders, or one of the team, better yet, that actually brought Keller Williams into the Chicago area. And now the guy's just killing it. And I'll tell you, he's running a business where he's closing about 200 transactions a year. And he's doing it on just the foundational fundamentals. I mean, it's simple. Staying in touch with your sphere of influence, right? Using a 33 touch or 36 touch, whatever. Staying in front of your clients. Asking great questions. Listening to your clients. Just all the simple foundational stuff that works. And I'll tell you what, Joe is also, he's in the top 1% of all realtors in the nation. He was also the 30 under 30 winner. And Joe, it's just a great interview. Joe gets us back to the basics. I would encourage listening to this interview and then sharing it with as many people as possible, because it's simple. It's something that you could just start doing right away. It's not going to cost you. It's not like you're going to go spend thousands of dollars. It's just like, get back to the basics, my friends. All right, listen, Joe's coming to us in a minute. I just want, we do have some awesome affiliates. I'd ask you to go to my affiliates page, which is davidihill.com/affiliates. Check out some of our affiliates. We have Vulcan 7. We have Land Voice if you need leads. I mean, there's just so many affiliates that you guys can. Jarek Robbins has some coaching programs you can take advantage of. It's just discounts on everything. So, check out our affiliates page. And then also, I've got the Master Camp coming up. So we've got a few seats left. And just to tell you about a couple people in the camp, we got one agent, 200 units a year. We've got another agent doing 100 units a year. We've got a top team leader in the Master Camp, and those are just a couple of the people that we're going to be masterminding and connecting with on a weekly basis to discuss business and bringing things to the highest level. So we're going to talk to you a little bit more about that. You can sign up for that or get details, and then sign up at davidihill.com/Master Camp. Check it out. If you have questions, just email me, and I will give you the answers to the questions, and I hope to have you in the Master Camp. Guys, get your seat locked. It's coming up August 7th. It's coming soon. All right, hey, you rock. Enjoy the interview. Hey, Masters, it's David Hill here with another episode of Path to Mastery. And today, guys, we are with Joe Zimmerman. And, Joe is massively cool. I met him first time at family reunion. And before I get into all that, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Joe's business. He is the co-founder of MKT Properties. It's a Keller Williams office out of the Chicago, Lincoln Park area. Joe is recognized, or his team was recognized as one of the top 1% realtors in the nation with selling over 200 plus homes a year for, I believe, 3 years straight. He was also a realtor 30 under 30. He just got a lot of really great things going on. His team's goal this year, 2017, is to sell about 300 homes. and then double that 2018 to about 600 homes. And just a cool guy, man. And it was good to meet him. And I figured we'd get him on and he could talk to us about what he's doing to be so successful. And the other thing, too, is Joe's a Keller Williams agent. And when he first started in Chicago, there were no Keller Williams offices there. So they've built their office and they've done a really good job. So, hey, Joe, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, David, I appreciate it. I'm super excited to be with you this morning. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you got it. And so, you're doing a lot of things, man. You're obviously a successful guy. So let's start off by talking about you, man. How'd you get into real estate, and bring us through your, from back when you started to real estate into where you are today.
Cool, I appreciate that. So yeah, David, I got into real estate actually in 2001. I knew I always wanted to help people find their dream home, and help support them. So to me, real estate was a natural fit. I did a lot of development early on in my career, meaning I represented a lot of different developers for anywhere from high rises to 3 flats. And then, through most of the struggles that most of us agents experience, we figured there was a better way of doing this. So in 2009, I partnered up with another top producing agent who now is my partner in crime. Her name is Mary Haight. And we basically said, hey, there's a better way of doing this. And let's combine forces, get an understanding of what we want to do, and really kind of take off and take this to a different level. So now we're in 2017. We're on pace to sell 200, support people in 280 homes this year. Our goal is 300, so we got to, put the foot on the gas pedal here.
Good for you, man. I know right now one of the biggest challenges around the country, talking to all the agents, is inventory. How are you guys dealing with the inventory? I mean, sounds like, 75 units. How are you dealing with the inventory?
Chicago's definitely a seller's market right now, and there's low inventory. So our lead generation power hours, from 9 to 11 every morning are crucial. They are standard on our team. We do not let anyone off the hook on that. We get out there and we make as many contacts as possible to try to find inventory. We tell people it's our fiduciary responsibility to keep this market moving, right? So who do you know that we should know? We're just trying to match buyers with sellers and sellers with buyers. That's our job.
So you guys are just getting out there talking to a lot of people. Who are you guys calling?
We typically have 3 different sources right now, which 2 of them are doing pretty well for us, and the third we're kind of just starting to get up and running. But the first 2 that we have is our sphere. To be honest with you, we do a lot of sphere calling. So Chicago is a relationship kind of town, right? So it's all on who you know everywhere, but especially in Chicago. So we call a lot of spheres. So we have committed this year to really perfecting the 33 touch, making as many calls as possible, as many touches as possible. So we really become successful on that this year. And then Boomtown, we do use Boomtown as well for kind of our colder leads. And Boomtown it's starting to work out for us as well. Our third source that we're obviously going to implement, and we haven't done that yet, but it is our goal to implement that for this year, so we're off and running for next year, is hitting the expired, canceled for sale by owners.
Got it. Okay, good. So you got some strategies in place for that. So when you say 33 touch, how many times are you calling people? Is that 4 a year, or is it more than that?
Yeah, we typically a minimum of 4 times a year, once a quarter. We're really just following the 33 touch. Sometimes it's a little more than that, depending on how the conversation goes. But typically it's a minimum of 4 times. So
let's actually break that down. I get in the habit of when we say 33 touch, everybody knows what that is. But, realizing that a lot of our listeners aren't even Keller Williams agents, what is a 33 touch? What does yours look like?
Yeah, David, that's a great point. Thanks for bringing that up, because I did not know what the 33 touch was.
You don't have to be specific on every single piece, but it's certain like emails, right? Newsletters. Break it down for us.
Well, I listen to your podcast a lot, David. It's a great podcast, and I know the Peters Company down in Atlanta kind of have perfected this. So we kind of follow their suit on this as well. But just, hey, it's 1 call a quarter. It's 2 newsletters or 2 mailings a month, whether it's email or direct mail. We do 1 email and 1 direct email to them. It's buyer focused. One of the touches on the mailing campaign is buyer focused, and 1 is seller focused. And what has really turned out to be beneficial for us, David, is we put our belief system on there. We make it local, right? We make it personal, and then we also have a call to action. And we get mentored by one of the best in the business, Gene Rivers, and that was his advice early on. We really started to perfect this, and we're really starting to get the ROI on it as far as just your email and mailing campaign. We do have client appreciation as well once a quarter.
Oh, so once a quarter. Wow, that's great. I tell you, that's something I need to implement right now into my team. So thanks for that little tip. I'm bringing that right back, and we got to get that in place. All right, so you got 2 newsletters, so 2 emails a month, right? So that's 24 touches. 4 calls brings us up to 28. 4 client appreciation events brings us up to 32, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but then we also will do the birthday. We'll do the birthday message, or we'll do an anniversary message. Things like that as well. So obviously, the arbitrary number of 33. We're somewhere anywhere between 33 and 36.
So 33 touch. I love you breaking it down, and it just really shows for our listeners how simple it is. I mean, are you getting people to are you asking permission to be able to contact these people 33 times a year, or what does that look like?
That's a great point, David. And our philosophy is always to support our clients in what they perceive to be a perfect real estate transaction. So we lead a lot with questions, David, to tell you the truth. We're always asking them whether they're working with us or not. We ask them what they want from us. What is their expectation from us? And if we can do it and we can support them in that, we will do that. So, whether they want to be touched 33 times or not, we're obviously going to set them up on that system until we hear otherwise. But it's the same with our business where we go, when we go into listing presentations and buyer presentations, it's our job, and what we believe in is we believe in supporting our clients and either finding their perfect home on a buy side or supporting them in a perfect real estate transaction on the sell side. But in order to do that, we need to know what that looks like to them, right? Because everybody has a different expectation of what that is. So we just really kind of lead with questions on hey, what is your expectation of us and how can we support you? And the biggest thing, to be honest with you, David, is if we can't support them in it, we won't do it, right? And that really kind of rings home to our clients.
So I'm one of your clients now. You call me once a quarter. What does that call look like? Why don't you give me a call? So this for our listeners, you've already called me 3 times.
David, I'm a high D, right? So I get right to the point. So I'll just do a script role play with you really quickly. So ring.
Hello.
Hey, David.
Yeah. What's up?
David, what's up? It's Joe Zimmerman calling again. Hope you're doing well. Hey, David, the purpose of my call today is I'm just going to be very quick to you. As I've told you before, it's our fiduciary responsibility to keep this market moving, right? So as you know, I've called you before and asked you, but now that you've had some more time to think about it, do you happen to know anybody, a like-minded person like yourself, that's interested in buying, selling, renting, or investing that we could support?
No, man, Joe. Like I said, if I knew anybody, I'd definitely send them to you, brother.
I appreciate that, Dave. You are absolutely such at the top of our list because you're a huge supporter, a huge advocate of ours. So thanks for thinking about that. But again, we feel that it's our responsibility to keep this market moving, and that's why we continue to reach out to you. So if you please can think of somebody, and I can follow up with you, with a handwritten note or even an email in the next couple of weeks, would you be okay with that?
No, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. So David, I'll tell you what. Why don't I do this? Why don't you just think about it? I'm going to give you a call, or I'll shoot you an email here in a couple of weeks. And if you can give me one person's name that's like-minded like yourself, that's our goal, is to work with like-minded people. So I'd really appreciate it, and I thank you for your support.
Awesome, man. Cool. That's cool. That was really, you're purposeful about asking for a referral, and you didn't just stop at, okay, great, I'll check back with you. Like, you actually really were asking me to think about a referral. Now, do you ever talk about, like, we have a referral program, like we'll tell people, hey, if you send us someone, not only we'll take great care of them, but we'll make sure you guys have a nice dinner on us or something like that?
Yeah, we obviously, anytime we get a referral, we will send them something. We'll send them a personal note with a gift card, whether it's a Starbucks $10 gift card or a local restaurant here in Chicago where it's $50, because they've done it a couple of times. We'll always reward the referral. Absolutely. That's part of the system to do. But yeah, I don't really offer it up on the phone as much as, because I don't, it's almost like, incentivizing them is great, but incentivizing them when they actually do it, that's been more successful for us.
Got it. Okay, cool. I'm just wondering if sometimes, I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but if you're kind of incentivizing them up front and they're like thinking about it, like, okay, yeah, I'd love to get a free dinner or something like that. But anyway,
maybe, maybe, but we don't use that just
okay.
yet.
And then the only other thing I was like, ask people, would you be offended if I checked back with you in a couple months or a couple weeks or something? So All good stuff,
absolutely.
though.
I mean, get permission of how they want to be treated.
All right, cool. So, I mean, really, this is simple stuff, man. Anybody listening to this can get that. It's just a matter of staying in touch with our database. And, I mean, I do that, too. And I'll have some clients that are like, Dave, I'm going to send them to you. I mean, come on, bud. All right, man. Would you be offended if I check back? Okay, no, you do what you need to do. All right, perfect. And they're sincere. They will. You know what I mean? But we still want to keep checking in and keep top of mind because they're not thinking about us every day. That's for sure. As much as they respect us and like us, they're not.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone wakes up and is living in their world, right? So we just need to remind them as much as possible that we're out here and we're here to help support them.
Hey, Masters, we're going to get you right back to the show. But in the meantime, I want to remind you about Master Camp coming up August 7th, davidihill.com/Master Camp. Here are a few testimonials from a couple people who have gone through my past camps and know me personally.
Hey, I'm Erin Holloway. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I took David Hill's boot camp class, and I definitely recommend it. Definitely more confident. I got five listings from it, so I definitely recommend taking his boot camp class.
Why'd you take it? Why'd you sign up for it, by the way?
I just wanted to get sharper. I wanted to get better. I was in a different market center, and I just wasn't going anywhere, and I was like, I need to get sharper, so someone recommended the class to me, and I'm definitely grateful I did.
And I'm grateful that you did it as well. I mean, you were engaged, you stayed there through the whole camp, and that's what makes it work.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Everybody, it's Seth Campbell. I want to talk a moment about my buddy David Hill. A lot of people don't know it, but Dave Hill is actually in my market center where I first started my real estate career. I remember being a part-time person, just getting my license, walking in and seeing the number one producer in the office. I had so much respect and admiration for this guy. He actually taught the very first class I went to, and it was about FSBOs. And I saw this guy say, you know what? Here's the phone numbers. This is how I get my phone numbers. Here's the script I use. Here's a copy of what I give them what I mail to them. Here's what I do when I go to their house. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to do this. And we live close to each other. Are you sure you're okay sharing this? He's like, hey, buddy, there's enough to go around, and I want to do whatever I can do to help you. So from day one, as long as I've known this guy, he comes from contribution, and he is the master prospector. This guy gets more appointments than anybody I know. I know that he took 7 listings his very first month in real estate. I know his whole story because we've grown up together in real estate, and he's one of my best friends there is. And I trust nobody more than David Hill on how to get appointments and prospecting and scripts. He is the master of all prospecting.
Hey guys, Tyler Lemoyne here, Keller Williams, Atlanta Partners in Gwinnett County. I'm giving a shout out here to my man David Hill for the outstanding class that we had, his FSBOs and expired boot camp. One of the main reasons that I took it was help to increase my knowledge on and get better at my skill set at calling expireds and FSBOs, because it's a very huge part of my business, and I do it religiously every day. And learning from experts like David and hearing what other people in the country are doing really helps me grow as a realtor and as my business grows. I would highly recommend it to anybody taking it. The systems that David gives you are unbelievable. The calls are great. Practicing scripts and role-playing with other partners are really what you need to get you over the edge and get you off the fence and get you lead generating and calling these expireds and FSBOs. So, David, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great one.
Welcome back to Path to Mastery. So now you've got some big goals. The plan is to double that and go to 600. How are you going to do that? What does that plan look like?
How are we going to do it? We're going to do it by following a system and a model, right? So we're following the MERA model, but we're also not only following the model, but we're being coached, right? We're being coached by the best in the business. Like I've mentioned before, Gene Rivers is one of our mentors. He's played a major hand in what we've accomplished. I mean, our price point from 2016 to 2017 has gone up 20%.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We're super pumped for that. We also have Abraham Shreve as our MAPS coach. What Abe has told us is, hey, listen, 300 is our goal this year, and we're going to do our best to do it. But 600 next year is non-negotiable. So how are we going to do it? We're practicing the habits. We're getting our 1-3-5 in place, right? Where we are going to have the goal. What are the 3 lead generation activities to do it, and then the 5 strategies for it. So that's honestly what you said. I mean, you said it earlier, David. It's like it is simple, but it's not always easy. So what we're doing is following the system, following the models, and we're holding each other accountable. That is probably the number one thing that we're doing. We all share in the same vision. We all share in the same goal. and we are going to do it. We're high-fiving each other when we hit our goals, and we're seeing what we can do, as far as our team is concerned, how we can help each other if we're not.
How many on your team right now?
Right now we have 4 buyer's agents. I am sitting in the listing specialist seat. Obviously, I have we have our partner, Mary Kate, who is helping assist on the on the listing specialist seat as well. But she is also just recruiting for talent all the time. So we're continually building our bench, right? And then we have 3 admins, a transaction coordinator, a listing manager, and a lead generation manager.
Wow. So you're talking about 5 people doing 300 units?
Correct.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Well, you know why I say that, Joe, is because I hear so many, and I don't want to discount anything, but I hear all the time, we did 150 units last year. We did 170 units. How many in a team? Oh, we got 9, 12, which, hey, it is what it is. But
sure.
If you look at the agents, you've got each agent's doing like 15 or 16 deals where, and they're probably doing okay. But when you got, 5 or 6 agents that are, making a couple $100,000 a year, then that's a big business for them. It's a big opportunity.
Yeah, David, that's a great point. And that's what we're here for, right? We want to make sure that we support them, our team, in a perfect career as well. And we need to know what that looks like to them. So you hear me kind of going back to that whole theme, right? Where we're here to support our clients in the perfect real estate transaction, but we're also here to support our team and our agents in a perfect career. So what does that look like to them? And the reason that they're here is they believe in what we believe in, and we believe in accountability. We believe in education. We believe in doing the right thing, but they're here for the accountability. So our buyers team is, they're going to hit 40 plus units, each individual team member right now. And that's a life worth living for them, right? That's what they want to do, and that's what they're building to do.
I love that. So how do you keep those guys engaged? Like, talk to us about some of the habits and the routines that help these guys stay focused on doing 40 to 50 transactions.
Honestly, David, that's the best question, because that is constant. It's really consistency, right? It's, as Gary Keller has said, it's kind of time on task. So, how do we keep them engaged? We reward them. We discuss on Mondays. We discuss our wins. We get an understanding of what we're doing, but we're also, all of us on our team understand that it's not going to be perfect, and that we're going to have failures as well. So we also discuss them also. But we spend a lot of time together. We have off-sites where we go out of the office once a month, and, we kind of share our successes, share our losses, share our vision again. But to be honest with you, in a nutshell, when you ask that question, it's sharing the vision. I mean, we share the vision a lot, and we probably don't share it enough, right? You've heard that from a lot of your podcasts,
sure,
guests before, and I'm sure a lot of the listeners, but we don't share it enough. So we continually try to get better at sharing the vision and get an understanding of what they want as well. So it's really just kind of helping them, right, through our processes and systems.
I love it, my friend. Love it. So let's talk a little bit about you now. I mean, you're successful. You've been doing this for a while now. What do you, when times are challenging and things aren't working right? Because as we all know, anybody listening to this, and I interview some of the most successful people on the planet, the more successful you get, it typically doesn't get easier, right? There's more challenges, more frustrations, more things aren't going right. How do you deal with that stuff when just all of a sudden you think like nothing's going right? I mean, or I'm sure there's times like that, right?
Yeah.
What do you do to keep moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely, right? I mean, you're always going to get knocked down, right? And just the people who get up quicker who are the more successful. So, I mean, what I would say to that is having a positive mindset, David. I know you're big on, health and education, but health and also mindset as well. But, it's just having a positive mindset. So setting your intentions for the day, getting up early, getting an understanding of what you're going to do and why you're doing it every day, and just being very purposeful. My first experience in Gary Keller's mastermind, right, with all the top agents in the country, I went there the first time down in Austin, and, to hear a man like that who is so successful and has dedicated his life to us, to the real estate agents, I was just honored to be in the room, right? You're in the room with guys and women who are selling anywhere from 500 to 2,200 homes a year. And when Gary Keller says, hey, we're all going to have challenges, right? Failure is okay, but you want to know the biggest challenge in your business. And we're all kind of waiting for the answer, the magical pill answer, right? And he says, look in the mirror, and says, you're the biggest challenge. You need to get out of your own way. That really kind of struck a chord with me, right? Of just, you're going to have some bad days. but make sure that you get out of your own way and have somebody else who's better at that activity do it for you.
Yeah, he says it in the Red Book, and also, being an instructor, whenever I teach Wynwood Sellers, we talk about that Gary says the biggest, when he's interviewed the top agents, they all say the same thing. The biggest challenge they deal with is keeping their mindset right.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, when I was exposed to Keller Williams, the Miracle Morning was something that people kind of recommended to me, and that really changed my life, right? As far as getting up in the morning and getting my day set and doing what was good for myself first, right? So then I can help support other people throughout the day. That was really a game changer for myself.
So talk to us about your routine, man. I mean, I get up at 5. I have my routine, prayer, meditation, all that. Do you have a routine like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I just follow it. I follow Miracle Morning. Probably that's one of the things that I am good at. I'm a direction follower, right? If somebody has done it and been successful before, I will follow that direction. But literally, I'm up very early. This isn't for everyone. So people who want to implement this doesn't mean you have to get up this early. But I wake up at 4. I do sit in silence. I write my affirmations. Our regional director gave us a nice 5-minute journal that broke that down for me to help with time. I visualize what my day is going to look like. I do exercise, and with your help, I'm doing some good eating as well, David, and good supplements. And then I'll read. So I was never that big of a reader, but now I read at least 10 pages a day, and then I'll strip, right? And then I'll get off to the day. And by that time, it's about 6:30, 7 o'clock. I have breakfast with my kids, and then I go to conquer the day.
I love it, man. Well, thanks for also the plug on the Advocare products.
Yeah, man, I love it. Thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah, no, you got it. And one of less than a handful of people that have reached out to me through the podcast and said, "Hey, I'm interested in checking out these products," and they really are amazing for energy and health. And I'd say that too. Everybody listening right now, if you have interest in energy, changing your health, because it all starts with us, right? With mindset. Health. I mean, if I can't take care of myself, how am I going to take care of my business or take care of my family or take care of anything, right? So I unfortunately, the selfish thing is I have to come first. It's just like on an airplane when they tell you put your oxygen mask on first so that you can take care of others, right? So same thing with health.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, man, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. That's a mindset shift that you have to have, and you hit the nail on the head.
So talk to us about, your great positive habits. I mean, you got your routine. What's your biggest challenge right now?
I think people is always probably the biggest challenge, right? Managing people, not only managing people, but holding people accountable and being consistent with it. That's probably the biggest challenge in a lot of people's careers. But that is just, to us, it's like we have a great team, and I'm super proud of our team, and I'm super proud of our accomplishments. And they believe in what we believe in. But it's just staying consistent, like you said, of, casting the vision every day. Everyone's going to have those bad days, and us as kind of, whether you call it rainmakers or empire builders or however it is, that personality typically takes it personally if somebody else is having a bad day, right? So, I guess our biggest challenge is just really coming down to people, helping support the people and helping manage the people and hold them accountable.
All right, love it, brother. Anything that I didn't ask you that I should have asked you?
I would say probably what is my biggest aha of the year would be a good question that you'd want to hear, given the fact that the first quarter is done. My answer to that would be when I heard Gary Keller say that people overestimate what they can do in a year and they underestimate what they can do in 5 years. That really struck a chord.
I love it, brother. Yeah, that was my biggest takeaway from Family Reunion. Thanks for reminding me, because he said, hey, we can be anywhere we want, in 5 years. That's all it takes. All right. So that said, man, give us first off, everybody, I'm looking for a great book recommendation. So, with what we talked about today, what would you say is a great book that you would recommend everybody read beyond obviously the Millionaire Real Estate Agent and The One Thing?
I heard Tim Heil gave a book recommendation at Family Reunion, and I've already read it twice. And it is Rocket Fuel by Gino Wickman and I think it's Mark Winters. Yeah, Gino Wickman and Mark Winters. And that one was awesome because we took strategic coach before we were in Keller Williams coaching and stuff like that. So with Dan Sullivan, so there was a lot of comparison to that. So that is an awesome book. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it.
Awesome, my friend. Thank you. So listeners, you can go to davidsfreebook.com and get yourself a copy of Rocket Fuel by Gino Whitman or Mark Winters. And Mark Winters, correct? Did I say that right?
Correct. Yeah, Gino Whitman and Mark Winters. Absolutely.
Awesome. David's
Rocket
free book.
fuel.
David'sFreeBook.com. Go there, get yourself a free Audible download. You sign up for 1 month. You don't even have to pay. Listen, it's free. And if you don't like it, you quit. You never pay $1. You get yourself a free book. So, hey, Joe, what's your favorite quote and why?
My favorite quote is, you don't fail by being knocked down. You only fail if you stay down. So, I tell my son that and my kids and my daughters that every day. That, hey, listen, you're going to have struggles in your life. This is why I love it. You're going to have struggles in your life. Accept it. It's not going to be perfect. And it's the people who get up quicker, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. And the final question is a question I ask everybody, my friend. You probably know the question I'm going to ask you. But what is the one thing you want our listeners to take today from this interview on their path to sales mastery?
The one thing I want to do is one thing I want your listeners to know is what I've been exposed to is anything is possible. You just have to believe it and have a great mindset. That's it. It's that simple.
We love it. And how do our listeners get in touch with you, Joe? Obviously, you guys are in the business, referral business. From listening to this interview, clearly you are a service-minded individual team. So what can our listeners, how do they get in touch with you for referrals?
I appreciate it, David. You can find me on Facebook, right, Joe Zimmerman, or you can send me an email, which is joe@mktproperties.com. M as in Mary, K as in Kevin, T as in Tom, properties.com. And I'd love to help anybody service their referrals, and obviously I would like to reciprocate that as well.
Awesome, my friend, and I know you're going to make it to that 600 number, so great work. Thank you for your time.
Man, it's non-negotiable. Thanks, Dave.
All right, bro. Thanks. Hey, Masters, you guys know how important health and nutrition is to me. I just want to talk to you a little bit about products I use called AdvoCare. I've been using these products for about a year and a half now, mostly just for energy. They've got a really awesome drink. It's called Spark. If you want to check out anything, I would tell you, go check out the energy drink Spark. That's what I did for, like I said, almost a year and a half without even trying any of their other products. And then this past January, a bunch of us, January 4th, decided we were going to do the 24-day challenge, which is a 10-day cleanse and then 14 days of just really healthy eating, vitamins, meal replacement, just awesome 24 days just to kind of get yourself on track and get into some right habits. So Richie Ryan did it with us. Guys, he lost, today's February 5th. I think he's at 24 pounds lost since January 4th. Melissa at our office lost 6 pounds. Min at our office lost 5 pounds. Guys, I mean, listen, it's amazing. Regardless, if your goal is losing weight, my goal wasn't losing weight. I did the challenge just so I could experience it. And, I lost a few pounds, but now I put some weight back on because I started using some of the supplements and the protein powder and all the other stuff. So now I've gained about 3 pounds of muscle and just feel awesome. My energy's through the roof. So whether you're looking for energy or you're looking for just wellness, I mean, they've got some amazing green products that I love taking before I go to bed. Or if you're looking for performance, athletic products, we've got the athletic performance products. And then just active, if you're an active adult, maybe getting a little older in the age and you want to just keep everything working the right way and functioning. Listen, Gary Keller said it best. If you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? And I just love that. So, hey, I just ask you to check out AdvoCare's products. I'm a distributor, so I'd love to help you, talk to you about your nutrition and health goals. You go to livelongersmarter.com, livelongersmarter.com.
You are listening to One More Sale with your host, David I. Hill, author of the Sales Playbook. Get your copy at www.thesalesplaybook.net.